there's a habit many people follow every single day, and the most surprising part is, you don't even notice it. It feels normal, comfortable, even harmless. But over time, this one small routine mistake can slowly reduce your strength without you realizing it. You might still feel like you're doing everything right, resting when needed, avoiding strain, staying safe. But behind the scenes, your body is getting less and less of the activation it needs to stay strong. And the change doesn't happen suddenly. It's gradual. At first, you may feel a slight decrease in energy. Then movements feel a bit slower. Standing up takes more effort. Balance feels less stable. But because it happens slowly, it's easy to ignore or blame it on age. This is what makes the habit so dangerous. It hides in your daily routine, quietly affecting your muscles, your energy, and your confidence in movement. And by the time you notice the weakness, it has already been building for a long time. Now the real question is, what is this habit, and why does it affect the body so much without being obvious? The reason this habit is so hard to notice is because it feels completely normal. In fact, most people do it every day without thinking twice. It often looks like rest, comfort, or simply avoiding effort. You might sit a little longer, move a little less, or choose the easiest option during daily activities. At the time, it doesn't seem harmful at all. It actually feels like you're taking care of your body, and that's why it's so easy to accept. You may even think, yeah, to normal high sablog isa high cardi hain. But what feels normal isn't always beneficial. When this habit becomes part of your daily routine, your body slowly adapts to doing less. Muscles receive less activation, balance is challenged less often, and over time, strength begins to decline. The tricky part is that nothing feels wrong in the moment. There's no sudden warning, just a slow shift that most people don't question until they start noticing the effects later. And that's what makes this habit so common and so easy to overlook. This silent habit has a direct impact on your muscles, and the effect builds slowly over time. Your muscles are designed to stay strong only when they're used regularly. When movement becomes limited and activity decreases, the body starts adapting to that lower level of use. This means less activation. And when muscles are not activated enough, they gradually begin to weaken. It doesn't happen overnight, which is why it often goes unnoticed in the beginning. At first, the change is subtle. You may feel slightly less strength while standing or walking. Then, over time, movements that were once easy start to feel more difficult. The muscles lose their responsiveness, and even simple tasks begin to require more effort. The body is simply following a pattern. If something is not used, it is slowly reduced. This is a natural response, not a sudden problem. But the key point is this. When daily routines don't challenge the muscles enough, weakness becomes a slow and continuous process. And unless something changes, that process keeps moving in the same direction, gradually reducing strength, stability, and overall physical confidence. This same habit doesn't just affect muscle strength, it also impacts your balance and energy levels in ways that become more noticeable over time. When the body isn't regularly challenged through movement, the systems responsible for balance begin to weaken. Coordination between muscles and the brain becomes less efficient, which can lead to a feeling of instability while walking or standing. You may notice slight wobbling, hesitation in steps, or a need to hold onto support more often. At the same time, energy levels begin to drop. When muscles are not actively used, circulation slows down, and the body doesn't produce or manage energy as efficiently. This leads to fatigue, even during simple daily activities. Tasks that once felt easy can start to feel tiring much more quickly. The important thing to understand is that these changes are connected. Less movement leads to weaker muscles, which affects balance, and reduced activation also impacts energy levels. This creates a cycle. The less you move, the weaker and more tired you feel. And the more tired you feel, the less you want to move. So, why does this habit become part of daily life so easily? The main reason is comfort. As we age, the body naturally looks for ways to avoid strain. Sitting more, moving less, and choosing easier options feels safe and convenient. In the moment, it seems like the right thing to do to protect energy and avoid discomfort. But over time, this comfort turns into inactivity. When daily routines involve long periods of sitting and very little movement, the body slowly adapts to doing less. Muscles receive less stimulation, balance is not challenged, and overall strength begins to decline. Another key factor is a wrong or incomplete routine. Many people believe they are staying active, maybe through occasional walking or light tasks, but the body is not getting the right type of movement needed to maintain strength and stability. So, it's not just about doing something. It's about doing the right things. This combination of comfort, reduced activity, and ineffective routines creates a pattern that feels normal but gradually leads to weakness. And once you understand this pattern, the next step becomes clear: how to break it. Walking is one of the most common and recommended activities, and yes, it is good for general health. But when it comes to maintaining strength and stability, walking alone is often not enough. The reason is simple. Walking mainly involves a repetitive forward motion. It uses certain muscle groups, but it does not fully activate the muscles responsible for strength, balance, and control, especially in the legs and core. This means that while you may feel active, your body is still missing targeted muscle activation. For example, the muscles that help you stand up, stay balanced, or prevent falls are not challenged enough during normal walking. Over time, these muscles can become weaker even if you walk regularly. That's why some people stay active but still feel unstable or weak. The body needs more than just movement, it needs the right type of movement. Once you understand this difference, a new question naturally comes up. What simple changes can you make to activate these important muscles and actually rebuild strength? The good news is, you don't need a big or complicated change to fix this. You just need awareness and one small adjustment in your daily routine. Instead of choosing comfort every time, begin to add small moments of movement throughout your day. For example, if you've been sitting for a long time, stand up for a minute. If you usually avoid certain movements, try doing a simpler version of them with support. The goal is not to push your body too hard, it's to wake it up again. Even small actions like standing without using your hands, holding your balance for a few seconds, or taking a few extra steps can start reactivating the muscles that have been underused. This is how you begin to replace the habit. Not by removing comfort completely, but by balancing it with intentional movement. Once you become aware of how often you choose an activity, you naturally start making better choices without pressure. And over time, these small changes begin to reverse the pattern, slowly rebuilding strength, improving balance, and restoring confidence in your body. Now, let's turn awareness into action with a few simple daily steps you can follow easily. Start by adding short movement breaks into your day. Every 1 to 2 hours, stand up, stretch lightly, or take a few steps around the room. This keeps your muscles active and prevents long periods of inactivity. Next, include a few basic strength movements. For example, practice sitting down and standing up from a chair slowly and with control. This directly strengthens the muscles used in daily life. You can also add balance practice. Stand near a wall or a stable surface and try holding your balance for a few seconds. This helps improve stability and coordination over time. Keep everything simple and manageable. You don't need long sessions or intense effort. Just a few minutes in the morning and evening, along with small movements during the day, are enough to start creating change. The key is to make these actions part of your routine. When something is easy and repeatable, it becomes a habit, and that habit is what gradually rebuilds strength, improves balance, and supports long-term independence. Along with daily movement, a few simple support habits can make a big difference in rebuilding strength. Hydration is essential. Drinking enough water helps maintain circulation, supports joint function, and keeps the body active and refreshed throughout the day. Even mild dehydration can increase fatigue and reduce energy levels. At the same time, regular light movement prevents stiffness and keeps muscles engaged. It doesn't need to be intense. Small, consistent activity is enough to support the body. When hydration and movement work together, they create a strong foundation for better energy, stability, and overall physical well-being. When you start replacing the silent habit with simple daily actions, the body begins to respond with noticeable improvements over time. One of the first changes is increased strength. Muscles that were previously underused begin to activate again, especially in the legs and core. This makes everyday movements like standing, walking, and getting up feel more controlled and less tiring. Another important change is improved balance. As coordination between muscles and the brain becomes stronger, the body feels more stable during movement. This reduces hesitation and increases confidence in daily activities. These changes do not happen instantly, but they build gradually with consistency. What makes them important is that they directly support independence and reduce the feeling of weakness that develops from inactivity. In simple terms, when the right habits replace the silent ones, the body slowly shifts from decline to recovery, becoming stronger, more stable, and more responsive in everyday life. The most important takeaway is simple: awareness changes everything. Many people don't realize how daily habits quietly shape their strength over time. Once you become aware of these patterns, you gain the power to make better choices for your body and your future. But awareness alone is not enough. It must be combined with consistency. Small changes, when done once, have little impact. But when repeated daily, they begin to transform how your body feels, moves, and responds. Strength is not built in a single effort. It is built through repeated, simple actions over time. The goal is not perfection, but steady progress. When awareness guides your choices and consistency supports your actions, the body slowly begins to recover strength, improve balance, and regain confidence. In the end, it's not about doing something big. It's about doing small things regularly that protect your independence and support long-term health.